This is verse 5 of the second chapter of the Gospel of John. We're in the midst of the interrogation that Herod is conducting in connection with having gathered all of the biblical scholars that he could get his hands on, inquiring of them where the child, the Messiah, the subject of the inquiries by the wise men, where he was to be born. Of course, his malicious designs are pretty obvious to us. May not have been quite as obvious to the scholars who were gathered there to give him their opinion, but one way or another, we hear hoi. This is the article, actually, masculine plural nominative. Sometimes the article can actually function as a pronoun, and so we would render it they. That's idiomatic, of course. We wouldn't mean that literally, but postpositive does. So they, epan, said, this is from Lego, I say, it's the third person plural, aorist active indicative, using actually the first aorist ending there. Again, a kind of an exception within an exception for a second aorist verb, but one way or another we have apan. They said, auto, indirect object, to him. This is the dative, singular, masculine, so they responded or said to him. En, preposition, takes the dative, so here we have the dative of Bethlehem, of Bethlehem. So in Bethlehem, and then tes, which is the genitive, singular, feminine article with udaios, of Judah. And so in Bethlehem of Judah is the answer, and then hutos, indeclinable adverb, for, gar, postpositive, for thus, gegraptai, from grapho, I write. This is the third person singular perfect passive indicative, for thus it is written, or the perfect maybe could render thus it stands written. As part of the Old Testament prophetic message. Dia, preposition, takes the genitive to mean through, so through, to, the genitive singular masculine article with prophetu, with the prophet, so we have through the prophet. So they answered him, or they said to him in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it stands written through the prophet. And then, of course, the next verse will give us the actual quote from the prophet.